My obsession with painting ceilings black continues. Hi. We're starting this video back in my truck because I'm doing another OPP.
Clap if you care. All right, let's move on.
I put out a little thing on social media saying that I wanted to do more of these, and I'm honestly shocked at how many people got back to me. If you're new here and you don't even know what OPP is, it's a little series I started where I take over a room in other people's places. One of my subscribers, Kim, and her husband, Chris, hit me up asking if I could give their guest bedroom a little bit of love, so I'm headed over there to have a chat and see what we can do. Right now it's just a place for guests to sleep, but they want to turn it more into like a multi-purpose room where Chris can play music with his buddies, or they can just pretty much chill in there if they don't have someone visiting. I've already been emailing Kim some ideas, but I want to sit down with both of them so that we can hash everything out and set some stuff in stone. So yeah, enough of me talking. Let's go meet Kim and Chris.
Other people's places with Brew City Builds.
Woo! Okay. Thank you guys for doing this.
Thanks for taking us on.
Yeah.
You have great ideas.
Yeah, thanks for doing it.
I appreciate you trusting me to, take over. So since we're trying to save money, I think that we should keep the sleeper sofa, right?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah,
And the two ottomans, I think so.
So with the size of the room, it is a little small. So
Yeah.
instead of painting a feature wall, what do you guys think about painting the ceiling?
Yeah, that would go with the furniture that's in there. There's a lot of black themed things.
Never would have thought of that, yeah.
Yeah, no, never in
Cool.
a million years.
That's awesome. And then we would, contrast it with like a warmer white so
Okay.
that it still feels bright and fresh and open.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that sounds great.
You guys have that 90s kind of fan in there. What do you think about swapping that out for like pendant light?
That sounds good. Anything
Get
but that
rid of
fan.
it.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, it
please.
was a lot of the things here were here when we moved, so it's like baby steps getting them up, but
That's gotta
that
go.
should be like at least a teenage step, if not an adult step.
yeah, it's gotta go.
And I think also with the style that I've seen throughout your house, what do you guys think about doing a ceiling medallion?
I think that sounds really beautiful.
Wouldn't have thought of that either.
Yeah, no, I think that would really be cool.
Sure.
It would give some more interest.
Yeah, I love the idea of a black ceiling, but adding in a little detail would make it kind of pop. What do you guys think about like a Keith Haring linear black and white kind of a rug?
I like that
Yeah,
idea.
it sounds cool to me.
Great.
And we like herring, so
Yeah,
good
there we
thought.
go.
exactly. Yes.
So you guys have a lot of storage in the space right now, and you were saying that you wanted a bit more minimal, so you want to kind of take out some of that clutter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do want to kind of keep some storage in there, so I was
Okay.
thinking of maybe putting a floating shelf over the sofa,
Nice.
so it'll
nice.
just be a bit more minimal.
Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
and we'll just curate special things to go on top of it.
Yeah, I think picking your favorite things. And
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
with the black and white stuff, I would like to bring in some kind of accent color, so maybe like a green of some sort or something. So we have little pops of green, like a throw blanket, and maybe like an acrylic tray I have in my head that I'm thinking about. Since we're using the ottoman as a coffee table,
Yeah.
making it so it kind of makes
yeah.
it a deliberate,
Great.
and then
Yeah.
you could use it for holding a cup. or-
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that sounds like a really good idea, multi-purpose.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a nice space that feels not too masculine, not too feminine. And Chris, you like to play music, so it would be a nice place to have people over. But I
Sure.
also think it would be a good spot that a guest could sleep in and feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to get started.
Yeah. Us too.
be
We're really
cool.
looking forward to it.
Time to work.
Okay, here we go. Kim and Chris were nice enough to clear out the room for me, so I just did 2 coats of mud on all the holes and the cracks, and then I wet sanded that down. I also caulked the baseboards and the window trims, so it is time to paint. First thing was cutting it with 2 coats of primer with Kills 2. I also did 2 coats of primer where I patched. Then I went in with a 3/8 inch nap roller to get the rest of the primer on. Painting over that turquoise wall was super satisfying. Once the primer was dry, I went in with 2 more coats of the paint color Fresh Popcorn by BEHR in a matte finish. While that paint was drying, I got to work on cutting the 1x8 pine board that was going to become the floating shelf. I just cut off a 1/4 inch on each end because I wanted to keep it as long as possible. I gave it a good sand with 80 grit sanding discs, and then I went in again with 220 grit just to make sure it was nice and smooth. I primed this with 2 coats of the Kills 2 as well, and then it was 2 coats of the fresh popcorn color, so it matched the walls perfectly. I did use a satin finish on this, so that way it would be easier to dust. I also painted the existing air vent with a warm white spray paint so that way it would blend in the wall a little better. Now that I got all that taken care of, I could focus on the ceiling. I started by making a mark 4 inches down across all the walls. I like to do this because the line where the ceiling meets the wall is usually never straight, so bringing that line down a little bit just kind of cheats it and tricks the eye into thinking that the line is super straight and super clean. From there I used some delicate surface tape and lined up all my marks so that way everything was blocked off for where I wanted to paint. Then I started cutting in with a brush with the color Cracked Pepper by BEHR and a matte finish. I did 2 coats of this all the way around the ceiling, and then it was back to a fresh 3/8 inch snap roller to finish off those 2 coats. Since the paint was out, I got 2 coats of the same Cracked Pepper on the ceiling medallion as well. Then I got to one of the most satisfying parts, which was taking off all that tape. Another tape ball in the can. Alright, the room is officially done being painted. I love how it looks, so now I'm going to get to work on all the details. Kim wasn't into the almond color of the existing power outlets and light switches, so she asked me to swap them out for some new white ones to make them feel fresh. I'm not going to go into too much detail about how I did this because if you're even a little unsure about doing it in the first place, it's just better to hire an electrician. There's too many potential problems that could happen, so sometimes it's just easier to leave it to the pros. After that, I installed the pendant light and the ceiling medallion. I love this lampshade. I got it from IKEA. It wasn't that expensive and it looks super good. Dig how all this came together. Then I installed the painted air vent. And then it was onto the window shades. I like the simpleness of these. They just kind of blend away into the wall and you don't have to have curtains, unless you want to. I wanted to get the floating shelf up, so I installed the 3 white brackets. I touched up the screws with a little white wall paint to just make them disappear. And then it was just attaching the brackets to the bottom of the board, and then it was donezo. I finally get to take the plastic off the sofa, which means it's time to bring everything else in. I wanted to make the room feel bigger, so I switched up the layout and put the record stand where the sleeper sofa used to be. Then I was able to get a good look at the new Ruggable rug. I've never bought anything from them before, and I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. Then it was onto the sleeper sofa. I also had them get an accent chair that was the same color and fabric as the sofa, so that worked out. And finally, it was the ottoman. I talked Kim and Chris into only using one since it made the room feel so much bigger. Okay, everything's in, so it's time for final touches. I just finished smudging the room, which means one thing. This room is finished. Let's take a look. Okay, we're rolling. What do you guys think?
You go first.
Amazing. It looks like it's just so open and streamlined. And
Yeah, it's the room I want to hang out in the house now.
For sure.
It's the best room in the house.
It's better than I thought. It is amazing.
Just the vibe. It's just you walk in and you just want to hang out and just lounge and relax. you know,
Yeah,
it's like-
for sure. Love
Good.
it.
Yeah.
Love
Fantastic.
it.
It does feel totally relaxing. I feel
Yeah.
very chilled.
Yeah.
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 The lighting alone, it's not just like some ugly, chunky ceiling fan thing and one light only kind of thing. It's
Yeah,
like,
it feels much better than
Warm.
the fan.
Yes,
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
better. Yeah.
it's warm and bright, but not like glaring bright. It's really, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I love the rug.
Yeah,
I
me too.
love
Yeah.
the rug so much. And the addition of the chair was a really smart choice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just
for
makes
sure.
more of a conversation area.
Yeah.
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 I love all of it.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and the medallion. That's my other favorite.
Yeah, the medallion I think really added a little
For sure.
something
Yeah.
for sure. I made it minimal, but
Mm-hmm.
I also kept kind of the aesthetic of you guys by bringing in all your artwork and
Yeah.
tchotchkes. So
Yeah.
I think it's good.
It looks intentional, not sloppy.
Right.
Yeah.
It just looks really, really good. I love that shelf.
And pared it down too, which
Yeah.
is nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Well,
cool.
I'm glad you guys are happy.
Love
Thank
it.
you so much for trusting me.
Thank you.
And
Oh.
you guys are adorable. I want to like hang out with you. So you're gonna
Back
have
in
to
the
invite me
room,
over
yeah.
to
Oh
hang
yeah,
out.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you again. This was
Thank
really
you.
fun.
Oh,
Really,
thank
really
you.
cool.
I mean, thank you so much for
Yeah.
all of your hard work.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
God.
Yeah. That was fun. It's always kind of weird going into somebody else's house. I'm still kind of figuring out this OPP thing, but Kim and Chris were great, so they made it easy. Okay, final thoughts. I think changing the layout of the furniture made the room feel so much bigger. Kim really wanted to get rid of the sleeper sofa, but I think with the changes I did do, it totally works now. I decided to bring in those little pops of pink and red at the last second because the room was just kind of feeling a little too serious. Either way, it all turned out great. I think it represents their personality and they're happy, so I'm happy. Anyway, I would love to hear what you think, so let me know in the comments, or if you have any other questions, you can also leave them there. Feel free to like this video if you want to support me and my channel, and if you want to subscribe if you aren't already, I would love if you did that as well. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Okay, cool.
so-
Fine, we're talking.
Yeah, we're just hanging out.
Yeah.
We're just, like, having a
Sounds good.